All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to another great session with the presidential candidate of the fictional Common Sense People's Party. And yes, the Supreme Court of Nigeria has chosen a date to pass judgment on the Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar appeal. There is so much tension in the air right now, and many Nigerians are saying the judgment or the verdict of the Supreme Court this time around on the certificate forgery evidence will determine whether we have a constitution or not. Nigerians are saying a lot about the future of this country is going to be determined by this important judgment of the Supreme Court. But before I give you details on how Nigerians reacted, let us quickly watch this video. In this video, this man with a very friendly tone respectfully explained the monumental failure of TINUBU in a short while in office. And there is no better time to put out this video than now that we have an opportunity to disqualify this man on very legal grounds. See the video.
Will I say there are little outliers here and there, but cumulatively, we haven't done well. So a good way to look at it is issue of poverty, for example. We are told that we now have close to 140 million Nigerians described as multidimensionally poor. So it means that we are retrogressing exponentially. We're also told that unemployment is going up. Inflation today is very high. During the NSG summit, somebody was saying that we are not even understanding the deepness of the issues. So for instance, if you are a manufacturing firm, you borrow at 20-something%. Inflation is at 20-something%. So you need to put all these costs before you now understand the real cost of operation. And at the end of the day, by December, from what is going on, some of them are going to lay off because they're going to say, next year, how will I succeed? How will I grow? How do I do this? So even though we are having, maybe I have internet now on my phone, maybe I have internet now in my village, maybe you have internet now, those are even if you don't do anything, part of human resilience to survive will definitely enable some of those little progresses. I mean, the government, are they doing what they are supposed to do? Yes, they are trying in certain areas, but we expect them to take it more serious because we are in a very precarious situation, Charles.
But isn't there a problem with those UN development goals in the sense that there are just too many proposals essentially promising everything to everyone everywhere? I mean, that doesn't sound like prioritizing, does it? Which is what governments do. I mean, it's essentially, you know, more like saying that this would be a wonderful world of lollipops and sugar, but it's not reality, because instead of saying 8 goals and 18 targets, they're saying 17 goals and 169 targets.
Okay, well, of course, you know, Charles, that the 17 development goals, they didn't prepare it only for Nigeria. They prepared it for the whole global economy.
But obviously you have to look at the world from where you're standing,
exactly.
not from where someone else is
what
standing.
What is important is that if there are 17 factors, what you can do is to say, okay, I'm going to prioritize and say, we're going to focus on hunger, poverty, women inclusion, this. So even at the end of the year, or 5 years or 3 years, you can say, I haven't achieved all of them, but I've achieved at least 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's left for Nigeria to prioritize. It's not for us to say, oh, there are so many of them.
Right.
But what they are even saying that we haven't met any of the conditions necessary for the achievement of any of the sustainable development goals.
So you haven't actually got on the track.
Not at
yet.
all. So if, for instance, now we've said, oh, in the last 8 years, poverty has reduced, we can clap and say we are more, we haven't achieved it, but you can see that we are reducing poverty. You can see what India has done. You can see what Bangladesh is doing, what other developing and emerging economies are doing. So that's what we are saying. In our unemployment, you can say, okay, it has gone down. I mean, I don't want to talk about what Nigerian Bureau of Statistics said that the unemployment is now XYZ, as the case may be, but we know what the unemployment is all about. So what I'm trying to say that even though there are many, but we can prioritize. Some of them are looking at us directly and saying, "What are you guys doing about this?" So it's not really about blaming UN or saying that there's so many. Let's even focus on the ones that concern us directly, like inflation, unemployment, poverty, housing, women inclusion, child labor. All those things are public knowledge.
Right.
You heard that. As it stands now, close to 140 million Nigerians have been described as multidimensionally poor. He said we are retrogressing, and this is all happening as a result of poor government policies. The United Nations outlined 17 sustainable development goals, and he said we haven't met any of the conditions necessary for achieving any of the sustainable development goals. What a shame. This is the same country that was thriving economically under Jonathan. We became the fastest growing economy in Africa, and we maintained a decent spot in the world ranking in terms of economic growth. But look at where we are today. There is no better time to throw the APC out of power. Now, let us look at the dates chosen by the Supreme Court to deliver judgment and how Nigerians reacted. Look at how the papers reported it. Supreme Court to determine Tinubu's fate, Thursday. The Supreme Court of Nigeria will rule on Thursday regarding the appeals to oust President Bola Tinubu from office. As recorded in the court docket officially marked by Registrar Zainab Garba, the Apex Court issued a directive regarding the judgment, disclosing its schedule for October 26th. Take notice that judgment will be delivered in the above-mentioned matter on Thursday, the 26th day of October 2023, before the Supreme Court of Nigeria sitting at Law Court District Area, Abuja. The court document stated, with suit number SUTNOSC CV 935-2023, indicated at the top right corner. The central issue before the court hinges on the determination of whether the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal conducted by the Court of Appeal erred in law in dismissing the appeals filed by both Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party PDP and Peter Obi of the Labour Party LP on the grounds of lacking merit. Of particular significance, the Apex Court is tasked with deciding whether to consider and admit the evidence presented by Mr. Abubakar revealing allegations of certificate forgery by Mr. Tinubu. The Apex Court will deliberate on the sufficiency of all arguments, facts, and evidence presented, assessing whether they are sustainable enough to overturn the results of the February 25th presidential election or potentially disqualify the proclaimed victor, Mr. Tinubu, and his political party, the All Progressive Congress APC, based on allegations of electoral law violations. With its wide discretionary powers in determining the admissibility of such fresh evidence, the court stands at a crossroads where political integrity and moral principles come under scrutiny. It is really the morals of the judges that is going to come under test in this circumstance, because the issues are clear. The Chicago State University clearly said that the certificate that Tinubu submitted to INEC was not issued by them. So it goes without question that that certificate was forged. But how are the Supreme Court judges going to react? Are they going to overlook all this evidence just like Nigerians have predicted? And let us see how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet says, they want to quickly give the judgment before FBI releases its report. And this tweet here by Brother Bath says, the Supreme Court may well not be the final this time around. And this is the danger that surrounds injustice. This is when the people start tending towards chaos. And this tweet by Nero says, we already know what our corrupt judges will say tomorrow. They will reject Atiku's evidence and dismiss Obi's case. They are already compromised. What a shame. What a shame. Very pathetic. The people have totally lost hope in the justice system. And there is no way we can have peace in such a society. And this tweet by I says, laugh out loud. The judiciary is definitely not the last hope of the common man. Why the rush in delivering judgment? Scared of the FBI files? There was a country. Pathetic. And this tweet says, it's shameful to see how public institutions are willing to play dirty just to protect a criminal. Say no to dictatorship. And this tweet by Casey says, why the rush? Supreme Court will still show us how corrupt they are and that they are controlled by the presidency. What a shame. What a shame. And so tomorrow, the 26th of October, 2023, is the day that the Supreme Court will confirm whether we have any legal document to respect in this country or not. It's not like we ever expected anything positive from them. It's just that tomorrow they make it official. And like I always say, Power is in the hands of the people. Whatever the people accept is what will. And like I always say, power is in the hands of the people. Whatever the people accept is what will stand. Whatever the people reject can never stand. Therefore, if the people decide to divide themselves along tribes and religious lines, they and only they will suffer. The political elites will continue to thrive and enjoy the commonwealth of the land. Anyway, make I leave am here. Make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here. So, don't go away. Don't go away.